the unthinkable today. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie to you. There is nothing more in this world that irks my nerve than someone who doesn't want to do their job. This is literally what I wore. I'm trying to whoop-de-whoop, and I don't whoop-de-whoop, just a whoop-de-whoop. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Not gonna lie, it's been a minute since the last time I filmed. I didn't upload last week, and then I went home and I had every intention of recording because I honestly had a really good weekend. Like Friday, I went out with my friends to celebrate his/our 21st birthday. The next day I went to my friend's wedding, and then after the wedding I went to my friend's house to celebrate again his 21st birthday. We like grilled out, it was just fun. So I really honestly had a good weekend. Didn't vlog any of it. This video is basically gonna be a couple work days in my life. I'm gonna vlog today, which is Tuesday, tomorrow, and Thursday, and then I'll start another vlog, which is gonna be a weekend vlog on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I did the unthinkable today, which something that I absolutely dread doing, especially during the week, which is grocery shopping. I actually love grocery shopping, but during the week with the way that my work schedule is, absolutely not. For example, I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, and I don't like to be out in the streets of Birmingham past 5 o'clock. So as soon as I got off, I quickly went to Walmart, quickly went to Dollar Tree, and it is now 5:41, and I just made it back to my apartment. It took me an hour to do all my grocery shopping and get home safely. But we're done. I haven't grocery shopped since like my first full week here, I think. So it was long overdue. If I have not said this before, if you live in an apartment complex where you have an elevator or you live on a higher floor, absolutely get a wagon. At my apartment in Tuscaloosa, I don't have a wagon because I live on the 2nd floor, so it's literally 1 flight of stairs and boom, you're right there. But because I live on the 5th floor in my apartment here, and I have to take an elevator, it's just easier to do it this way versus multiple trips. It's also safer to do it this way. I did a bunch of grocery shopping. I was gonna cook steak burgers for dinner, but the thing is I had that exactly a week ago last week. So I'm like, let me switch it up a bit. So here's a little grocery haul. Went to Dollar Tree. I buy these disposable pans for various things. For example, with my like lasagna tonight, it's not gonna be normal lasagna because I'm not using the regular lasagna noodles, but I'm gonna use this to make it. I also put my garlic rolls in here, and I put my meatloaf in here. So just buy the disposable ones from Dollar Tree. I got 3 things of A1 because whenever I make my A1 meatloaf, I always end up using like a full bottle, and then I don't have any for the next time, and then I go to make it and realize I have none. So 3 just to be on the safe side. Then I also buy pretty much all of my disposable things or things that I usually go through quite quickly at Dollar Tree. So I bought Ziploc bags because I bought some poultry items, and whenever I put them in the freezer, I put them in a Ziploc bag. So I got 2 things of the gallon size and then 1 of the quart. This is kind of a mishmash bag, but from Walmart I got some penne noodles for my dinner tonight. It's about to be that time of the month, and I'm craving chocolatey sweet things, so I bought chocolate chip cookie dough. This, which was definitely not on my grocery list, but I saw it and I was like, have to have it. It is the Nescafe Gold Express Blonde instant coffee, and you literally just use like so much in water or milk and your coffee's done. And it was only $4 for this big jar of it. I don't know exactly how many this makes, but you only need 1 tablespoon to make a 2 fluid ounce espresso or a 6 ounce Americano. So we're gonna try this tomorrow. Then I got a refillable thing for my Dawn soap because I'm almost out of my other one, and I don't buy the whole pump thing again. You just take the pump off and put it on top. Simple. And I think it's like ever so slightly cheaper, but might as well. Got some Hawaiian rolls to make my lovely garlic rolls that I love to make. And then actually now that I have this, I realized I definitely could have waited to buy this. I was gonna make steak bites tomorrow, and then what I do with the leftover steak bites is make like Philly cheesesteak sandwich things, or like grilled cheese things, whatever it is. And I use this kind of bread, but I realized I didn't get steak because I didn't have any good prices on it. So this is kind of a waste to buy right now, but push comes to shove, I can make French toast one morning when I'm not working. And then I also bought a 6-pack of eggs for whenever I want to make breakfast in the morning, again when I'm not working. And the reason why I never buy like a full thing of eggs is because they always go bad before I end up needing them. I rarely ever eat eggs, whether it's eggs in recipes or just eggs themselves. I get the egg ick very quickly. French toast is like the only way that I'll really eat it and enjoy it. Then I got some Velveeta cheese because one day this week I'm gonna make rotel. And then for said steak sandwiches that I can't make at the moment, I brought provolone cheese. Got some crinkle cut fries, or no, these are regular fries because obviously you always need french fries. This, again, for the steak that I don't have, which is the 3-pepper onion blend. This is honestly the best thing ever. 10 out of 10 recommend. And then I got an onion for tonight's recipe, and then also when I make meatloaf, I need an onion. Got a whole bunch of poultry stuff. Got this, I think it's like 6 wings, or a total of 12 once you break them in half, of chicken wings because I don't need that much chicken. I'm just cooking for me. Same thing, I got some chicken tenderloin. Sometimes I make like grilled chicken with peppers and onions, and sometimes I like fried chicken tenders, like tossed in sauce. So this is what that's for. I got some sausage because whenever I make my rotel, I personally prefer sausage over ground beef. Honestly, doesn't make that much of a difference, but I like sausage a little bit more. Then just a small thing of ground beef for tonight's recipe, and partially my meatloaf recipe or burger. I don't know. I don't think I'll end up using this whole thing tonight, but we'll see. Last but not least, some milk. And again, I rarely ever buy milk because I never go through the whole thing. Was this open? Milk and eggs is something I very rarely go through because I don't eat cereal. I don't really cook eggs for breakfast, but yet I always end up buying it. Probably goes bad, and then I buy it again, and it goes bad again. It's a really bad cycle. I do need to drink more milk and eat more eggs. I just don't do either. But that's it for the grocery haul. I'm about to put all this stuff away and then get dressed for the gym because I started working out. Crazy, right? Never thought, well, I've been trying to work out for a minute and then never actually did. But this past Saturday, I was like very in my head about something, and on the whole entire 2-hour drive, this was the only thing that I could think about. So I was like, you know what, when I get to my apartment, I'm gonna work out. So that's exactly what I did. After I came, put all my stuff away, started laundry, I went down to the gym that we have in our apartment complex, worked out for like 30 minutes, and it honestly just cleared my head immensely. So now I'm working out, which I actually really like it. The only thing I don't like is being sore. Like walking, I look horrendous walking, and trying to fake the ability to walk normal is absolutely terrible. But hopefully the results will pay off in the long run. I don't do anything special for my workout. I literally just, I run / walk a mile. I do a plank for so long, do 20 crunches, 20 squats, and I pulse for the last 10, and then just like general body stretches, and that's literally it. Super simple, basic workout. I'm not expecting to get like crazy muscle from this, or just kind of to get my head out of it and maybe be a little bit toned. Maybe some abs would be nice. I faintly have abs from when I was in high school, but definitely only off the morning skinny, not just on a day-to-day. But I'm done yapping. I'm about to put this away, change, and then head to the gym. It's now the next morning. I literally never came back on to update y'all on the rest of my night, but after I put away my groceries, went to the gym, came home, showered, cooked dinner, and then I was on my phone for like 4 or 5 hours just yapping, and then I went to sleep. So you didn't really miss much. But this morning, we're gonna make the instant coffee. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie to you, because this could either be really good or really bad, but I am gonna be leaving my house probably like 30 minutes earlier than I usually would, or like 20 minutes earlier than I usually would. So if this tastes bad, I can stop and get a coffee, but we're gonna try this, fingers crossed. It doesn't really say exactly how this works. Like, I know you're supposed to use a tablespoon, but I don't know how much like milk you're supposed to use for it. I also know some people use water. I'm not using water. It smells good. Ooh, it smells real good. But that's not gonna be any indication of if I'm gonna like it or not. So last night I saw this cup pop up on my explore page on Instagram, and I absolutely had to have it. So this morning when I got paid, because I get paid every Wednesday, I definitely ordered the cup. Did I need it? No. Did I buy it anyways? Yes. And it's a hydro flask, which I am a Stanley girl, but the color of this hydro flask, 10 out of 10. I have a few different options as far as how I want to prepare this coffee. I'm gonna do like, I would say a cup of milk, but I'm not measuring. Tablespoon, might or might not have just made a mess. Oh, I definitely have a frother, but I don't think that'll be good for what I'm using this for. Y'all, my upstairs neighbor absolutely gets on my last nerve. I'm honestly surprised that I haven't filed a noise complaint, because she will stomp around all times of the day. It does not matter what time it is. It is 7 in the morning, she's stomping. At 10 o'clock at night, she will still be stomping. So at this point, I don't know when she's never not home. Okay, let's see how this tastes like. Okay. Got some sprucing up to do. So let's add in our other stuff. I'm gonna add in a little sugar-free French vanilla. What's the expiration date on this? Oh, we're good, okay. I'm not measuring, let's be real. And then I think I wanna add the cinnamon roll creamer. I have the vanilla and caramel, but I think I wanna do cinnamon roll today. And then for sure some sugar, because Lord knows it needs it. Now let's give this a taste test before I add my sugar. I know it'll need it, but. Actually, I think that's perfect. Wow, I actually made a good coffee at home. Do y'all hear that? I don't think y'all probably can because my TV, but she's stomping around. I didn't even add ice, Lord Jesus. I was gonna take my lasagna for lunch and then I changed my mind. So I'm either gonna get Guthrie's or an acai bowl. I usually like to try and save my acai bowls for Friday because it's like a little sweet treat at the end of the week. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I'm about to film a little TikTok get ready with me, which hopefully I actually have stuff to talk about, because the last time I tried to film a TikTok get ready with me, I had nothing to say, which is weird because I'm a D1 yapper and I know how to talk, but I was genuinely like at a loss for words. Like I had nothing to talk about. Also, I don't know what it is. The lighting in this bathroom I feel like makes my eyes look really weird. Like they just look strange in my opinion. I'm gonna film to get ready with me and then I'll just insert it here. Let's just hop right into this. I'm getting ready for work and let me tell you, I have a lot to fill you in on. This past weekend, as y'all saw from my haul, I went home and I went out that night. And let me tell y'all, I have not been out in a long time. Honestly, I think it was the fall semester because spring semester had me down bad, so bad, I didn't even go out at all. So the whole reason that I went home this past weekend was because one of my friends was getting married. So I had invited one of my other friends from Tuscaloosa that I met in Tuscaloosa down just for like the weekend so he could go with me to the wedding and also go out. So the purpose of us going out was to celebrate my 21st birthday / my friends, because our birthdays are only a couple days apart. So like, okay, great, we're gonna go downtown. So we go downtown or whatever. And first of all, not everybody could get into the first club. And if you've been downtown before and you've been to Sammy T's, you know how their whole getting in system works. Long story short, not all 5 or 6 of us could get in. And then they ended up having to close early because there was a fight that broke out in the bathroom. So those plans quickly got scratched. So we decided to go across the street to Whiskey Bottoms. Keep in mind, I just turned 21, so this is my first time ever being in there. And I go in and I'm like, okay, we're on the top part. And I'm like, this is it? Like, this is where we're staying? And then we go down to like the bottom part. I was like, oh, like this isn't that bad. The vibe was kind of nice. It was different than what I was expecting and most definitely different from Tuscaloosa. Now, make sure that we're keeping in mind that my friend that I met in Tuscaloosa that is used to going downtown in Tuscaloosa was with me. So we're in there. We're kind of like scoping out the scenery, seeing what the vibes are. And the music starts playing. We're like, okay, you know, there's a few good songs. And then there were certain line dances that they started doing. And him and I look at each other and we're like, what is this? Because it was a very niche group of people who knew the dances to said songs. And everybody else was looking around like, what are you doing? Like, there was no way or nowhere I would have learned that dance. Wouldn't have learned it in middle school. Wouldn't have learned it in high school. Haven't learned it in college. Have never seen anybody do this little dance in college. And here you are doing it. And we're like, what is this? So the night goes on. We're having a good time or whatever. We probably stayed out till like 1:30. Not too late because some of us had work the next day. I had a wedding to go to the next day. So I really wasn't trying to be out that late. And even though the wedding was at 2, I didn't get up till 11. And we'll get there in a second. But we didn't stay out that late. We went home. Next day we wake up. And so my friend and I, we go out to get something to eat. And he tried tenders for the first time. And if you're from Huntsville, you know what tenders is. And I asked him to rank it like Tenders, Canes, and Fusakli's and Zaxby's. And he put Zaxby's at the top of the list. Zaxby's should not be at the top of the list. They're at the bare bottom for me. Because they gave me food poisoning one time. And that was enough for me to never go back. So I think at the end of the day, he ranked it like Zaxby's, Tenders, Canes, and then Fusakli's, if I'm not mistaken. Which Fusakli's is kind of hit or miss, but they'll definitely be higher on my list than Zaxby's any day. So after we like run all of our errands and eat lunch, it's now 1:15 when we get back to the house. Keep in mind that the wedding is at 2. It's 15 minutes away from my house, and I'm not ready. Like, I didn't have my outfit on, didn't have any makeup on. So I had 10 minutes to do hair, makeup, and outfit. Somehow, some way, I pulled it together, and we were only 3 minutes late to the wedding, but it was perfectly fine because they started at 2:05. So we sat down, and they were playing music, and the ceremony was getting started. So we honestly made it in perfect timing. After the wedding, we were there for like a couple hours, and then we went back to my house, and he had to head back to Tuscaloosa because there was something going on downtown that he wanted to be there for. So we hung out for like 10 more minutes, and then he had to dip. After he leaves, I go to my friend's house because, again, this whole like birthday weekend celebration thing was going on. So the night before we went out, and then this particular night we were at his house having like a barbecue with his family. And these are like my friends that I've known since kindergarten. So we're all super close, and it was just good vibes, good energy. And honestly, I miss that environment so much because moving and living in Birmingham, it's like me, myself, and I. I have a few friends here, but not those type of friends. So it was nice to just go home and be surrounded by people that I've known my entire life. At this point of the night, people are starting to thin out. And what I mean is they're trying to figure out what their next plans are, what the next move is. And I told them, I went out the night before. I went to a wedding. I came here. I'm done for. Social battery is tapped out. And they're like, oh, are you going to come back down the mountain? Because where I live, you have to go up a mountain to get there, and you have to come back down a mountain to get anywhere else. It doesn't matter which way you go. There's 3 ways to get to my house. You have to go down some sort of mountain. And so they're like, oh, are you going to come back down the mountain? No, I'm going to bed. It's about to be 11 o'clock. I'm going to go home, shower, go to sleep. I didn't get home till 2 the morning before. Why would I go out again? Absolutely not. The next morning I wake up, had a raging headache. When I tell y'all I felt like a bobblehead, I would move my head in the slightest and everything was spinning. And I was like, all right, that's enough. That's enough. So I head back to Birmingham, and when I tell y'all I did not want to come back because that was just a little glimpse of what summer could have been had I not been working, which I am very thankful and grateful for the opportunity that I have to be here because I'm growing and I'm learning a lot, and it's ultimately setting me up for the future. But I am going to miss like those little moments, but in the future it will definitely pay off. Also, weirdly enough, unrelated to anything that I've been talking about, I've been in a Frank Ocean era, like extremely bad. The first time that I went home from Birmingham, which was Memorial Day weekend, I listened to Frank Ocean the whole way there and the whole way back, which if you didn't know, it's roughly like an hour and a half to a 2-hour drive. Frank Ocean, whole time. The same album, the whole time. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with listening to Frank Ocean, but after so long, his music kind of gets sad, not gonna lie to you. But did that stop me? Not at all. My favorite song by him that's been on repeat, I have like my top 3. There's Solo, Moon River, and then White Ferrari. I have decided that this weekend I am just gonna stay at home, which I honestly probably should go home because I think Father's Day is this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, Father's Day is this Saturday, but at the same time, I don't think my parents had anything big planned for Father's Day unless they're going to come to Birmingham and go to my dad's favorite restaurant. But even then, I don't think that's going to happen. That's it. That's all. I'm ready for work. There is nothing more in this world that irks my nerve than someone who doesn't want to do their job. So I've been having some sinus issues lately, and it's been like every single day, at least for over a week now. So I had a virtual doctor's appointment, which that already irritated me because it's virtual, right? And then they call me 30 minutes before my actual appointment. Is like, oh, like she's ready to speak with you. I'm like, okay, great, let's go ahead and get it over with. So I am doing all the triage stuff. I'm sitting there waiting for her to like actually come to the phone, or like, oh, it's misreading. I'm still waiting for her to like actually come to the phone and speak with me, and I'm waiting 10 minutes. Keep in mind, I'm at work and this is not my lunch break that I'm on. So I get off the call or whatever, and I called the store, and I tell them, I'm like, I'm at work. Can you call me when she's actually ready? And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll call you when she's ready. So I'm like, okay, great. I'm sitting there waiting. Then they call me back. She's like, oh, she's ready for you. I get on the call. I'm still waiting another 10 minutes before the doctor hops on. Again, I'm at work. This is not my lunch break. Like, so that already irritated me, right? And so she ordered me some medicine, fine, fun, and dandy. And the CVS that was closest to me, where I've been getting my prescription sent, they said that one of them wasn't going to be covered by insurance, which is Deconex. But they said, we'll go ahead and fill it anyways. So I'm like, okay, great. They're going to fill it. All is good. And then I keep getting texts that they're working on it, but they haven't filled it yet. So I called them today and I'm like, hey, I was just calling on the status of my prescription. And she was like, oh, well, because it's not covered by insurance, we didn't order it.
Go past this light, then at the next one, keep left onto Country Club Road.
What do you mean you didn't order the medicine that the doctor sent in for me? Like, what do you mean? And I was like, okay. And she was like, I'll have to order it, so it'll probably be here tomorrow around this time or after lunch. So I asked her, I said, are there any stores nearby that have it in stock? She's like, yeah, there's this one, this one, this one. And so I sent the other one that's closest to me. And so she's like, okay, I'll go ahead and get that transferred over. So I was like, okay, great. I'm gonna call the store and make sure that they have it ready for me. By the time I literally drive to the store, they still hadn't answered the phone. So I just go in and I'm like, hey, this is what I need, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, oh, okay. So she looks in the system. Long story short, the store that I originally called to get it transferred never actually transferred it. Are you kidding me? First of all, you said that you don't have it in stock. And so you're gonna send it to another store. Then you don't send it to the other store. And luckily the lady was really nice. She's like, give me about like 10 to 15 minutes. I'll just have to manually write it myself. And I'm like, okay, great. Thank you so much. But it should not have to take all that for me to get my medicine. If you say you're gonna do a job, simply do it and get it over with. Why are we beating around the bush and doing the most? That makes no sense to me. And it's now after 5 o'clock, which means that I'm probably gonna get stuck in traffic or get stuck behind a dumb driver like I am currently. Usually about this time, I'm back at my apartment and I'm gonna get there at 5:20, which still isn't bad, but I'm usually home at like 4:45. And right now I would be working out, or at least getting ready to go to the gym. I'ma go. We'll come back on when I make it back to the apartment. We've made it back to the apartment. I've done my workout, I've showered, and I've prepared my dinner. This was last night's leftovers, which is the baked ziti spaghetti thing, my infamous garlic rolls, and then it went away. But I'm currently watching Real Housewives of Dubai because they're coming out with a new season, or like a new episode every Wednesday. And I haven't even seen the whole first season. So maybe I can get into it, but that's the vibe for right now. Got this, and then I have my sweet tea off to the side. Y'all want to see what I wore on the job site today? This is literally what I wore. I mean, this is definitely not a look. But the whole purpose of the job tour was for the interns and the co-ops, just to kind of see a different side of things. This was organized by like the campus recruiter, which is the person you interview with first. And then it like, the way that it worked for me was I interviewed with the campus recruiter and somebody that worked like in the actual office, and then she gave people my name, and then I interviewed with them, which was virtual, and then I had another interview with them in person. Then I had another interview with like my big boss is what I call him. He's not my big boss, he's like above my supervisor basically. But that's how my whole interview process worked. I know I've talked about that numerous times. It's now 3:15. I have dinner plans at 5, so I'm honestly gonna chill. I was gonna work out, but the thing is, if I'm going to work out, I'm gonna take off my makeup, I'm gonna get dressed, I'm gonna sweat, and then I'm gonna get in the shower, and then I'm gonna get out the shower, redo my makeup to go to dinner, and then go to dinner, come back and have to take off my makeup, and then my face isn't clean anymore. So I'm just not gonna work out today. We can work out tomorrow. Plus I was walking on the job site and I walked at work, so that kind of made up for it, and we had to do steps. So I got a little workout in, not as structured, but it's fine. I started watching Real Housewives of Dubai, and why am I obsessed? I'm already on episode 8. And Bridgerton just came out with the second half of their season last night, so that will probably be my weekend show. I don't want to watch during the week because something about starting a show on the weekends, like when you're just sitting in bed with nothing to do, eating a nice good meal, is just a vibe. So I'm gonna wait till this weekend to actually start doing that. But I'm about to chill for a little bit, and then I'll come back and update you guys when I'm headed to dinner. Yo, I'm back from dinner, right? And I'm scrolling through Instagram as one does, and I'm like, all right, cool, let me look at this little profile and tell me why a guy that I mess with is in a relationship. Not that it's a problem, because me and him were not gonna work out. Because he was trying to whoop-de-whoop, and I don't whoop-de-whoop just to whoop-de-whoop. And he didn't want a relationship, and I didn't want one either. So I thought, you know, we're on the same type of page, like, we're just gonna be friends, we're gonna hang out, it's gonna be cute, it's gonna be casual, not a relationship, we're not whoop-de-wooing, right? Okay, cool. But he kept trying to whoop-de-woo, and I was like, listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. it ain't gonna happen. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not looking for a relationship. And I said, I'm not either, because I made the promise to myself before my first year, before going into fall semester of 2023, I made the decision already. I was not getting in a relationship my whole first year there, and I stuck to it. I did. And so I told him that, and he's like, oh, okay, cool. And he thought that because I didn't want to be in a relationship that I just wanted to whoop-de-whoop. That's not what I said. This is not a read between the lines kind of moment, okay? So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, we go our separate ways, which he did spin the block a couple times. Still didn't whoop-de-woo. Don't know what he was expecting. And then last time he like came over to my apartment or whatever, that was that. Like, we went our separate ways. No hard feelings, nothing, none of that. And then I scroll on Instagram, he in a relationship. What? So just a couple months ago, you said you didn't want to be in a relationship, and I said I didn't either, and here you are now in a relationship with this girl. I don't want you, because let's keep in mind, you're like 5'4", and I'm 5'3", so like it just ain't gonna work for me. I don't date guys shorter than me. I don't date guys the same height as me. I don't date guys that if I wear heels, we're the same height. No, minimum 6 foot for me. Sorry, call me selfish, conceited, whatever you want to. That's just me. I have a preference, and my preference is typically 6 foot and up. The past 2 boyfriends that I've had have been 6 foot and up. I like what I like. So obviously he wasn't checking my boxes, okay? He was not checking actually any box off my list other than the fact that he was in college. And there's a lot of them at UA, so that's really not checking much. You know, you're not really bringing a lot to the table that I would like, okay? I usually don't come up on here talking like this, but I had to get that off my chest because I was truly baffled. Like, baffled. Really? Who would have thought? With that being said, I am now in a different stage in my life where I would like a relationship-ish. I was talking about this at dinner with my friend. Like, I would like a relationship, but I don't have to have one right now. And also, something that I look forward to is the fact that I haven't met half the people that I'm going to in my life. So I'm also not gonna settle right now. Like, if the next guy that came up to me tomorrow was just some regular schmegular that only checked 2 boxes off my list, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is the one, this is the guy for me, because literally I'm gonna be in fall semester surrounded by a whole different group of people. Like, I'm gonna go out a smidge bit more. By smidge bit more, I mean like twice a month, and not even every month. And I'm gonna have different classes, so there's gonna be different people that I'm surrounded by. I'm in different internships, I'm in different clubs and organizations, so there's different people I'm surrounded by. So really and truly, I don't beat myself up about the fact that I'm not in a relationship right now, because I'm not done. Like, I'm not done meeting people. I still got minimum 2 more years in college. Like, why are you rushing? For what? What are you rushing to? Why? What are you rushing to? Marriage? Because in 2 years, not gonna get married. So like, Jay, I gotta remind myself, like, what are you rushing into? Let me know. Because if somebody proposed to you in 2 years, your answer would be no. So why do you need a relationship right now? I hope I go look back on this and I'm like, yeah, you're right, Jay. You're right to wait, because even though I'm in my waiting season, I'm like, listen, enjoy life, have fun, do what you want. Don't be willy-nilly though. Don't be willy-nilly. But enjoy life. Do what you want. Do what you want. Who knows? You might meet your 6 foot plus man of your dreams tomorrow. Who knows? Or in a year, or in 2 years. And we can cross that bridge when we get to it. But right now, it ain't gonna happen. So sorry. It ain't happening. And that's okay. That is okay. I'm about to call it a night. As much energy as I have. It's 7:32 right now. I'm about to do my hair. Probably put it in foam rollers. The only thing is I'm low-key balding a little bit on this side. Like, my hair is thinner right here. Okay, actually, like, where is it though? The other day I was like brushing my hair and it looked really thin in one area. So I was gonna book an appointment to get braids, because that always helps my hair. And the 2 people that I can go to, one of them, her June book's already booked up and it's literally June 13th. And then I was like, okay, what about this time in July? She'll be on a trip, or she can only do weekdays. I can't do weekdays. And then the other girl that usually braids my hair, she only has weekdays and like 1 Sunday, and I'm not getting my hair braided on a Sunday and I have to go to work on Monday. No. Back to where I was headed. I'm gonna cut the video here because I'm just about to do my hair and then get into bed. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.